Welcome back to the show, and now we're getting into album reviews and start with our first review, Maeda's Endless Night. In this new project, it's got a lot of, well-crafted sounds. The lyrics, just the general soundscape flows really well. It's a concise project. We even joked about it, when I told you it came out that this was kind of like more of an EP than an album in terms of it being only 8 songs. But man, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think this was she had a really good flow on this album. It sounded nice. It sounded well produced, and she's definitely kind of in her groove, in her pocket right now. And I think this album just kind of continues to accentuate that. To you, what were kind of your initial thoughts on this and some of your takeaways?
Yeah, I think she's improved from the last project. I
Yeah.
think she's finding different areas in different pockets of her voice and the creativity. I don't know who's in her camp. The writing, I think the writing got better. I think the concepts improved. I think
Hmm.
this is definitely a step up, and I like the direction she's going to from from what she was doing. From the Do Not Disturb to Habits to When I Hear Your Name. Like it's
Oh, when I hear your name was insane.
growing to like, okay, she can be a star and she can be in the limelight and people will really start knowing her and she'll start accumulating more fans. I think this was a good project. I enjoyed it. I think from top to bottom it was good. Yeah. I mean, I like the cover too. It's kind of cool. Reminds me of a record or like a dryer,
Stop.
a gold dryer. Doesn't it look like it's have a
It
dryer?
does. It really does.
Forget what she got
Create
going on. She
cre-
like
cre-
a dryer.
creative cover arts. Bring back creative cover arts.
They
This
put
the
her in a
gold
dryer, bro.
dryer.
That's crazy.
Gold.
At least it's gold though. I mean, they got money.
I'm trying to think of like what was my favorite track overall on this. Come Again was really good. DJ Got Me. I thought that was a good intro. That
Yes,
was a
I was about.
really. I was like, okay, yeah, you were letting us know what this is gonna sound like. Gonna give us um the full cue into kind of like how this project is gonna sound. I thought that was a great intro.
Mhm.
Up All Night, very solid. So yeah,
Yep.
I mean, there were a lot of good tracks on this. I mean, it's 7 songs, but still
Precise, man.
precise.
And then yeah, I don't think it wasn't even filler tracks on here. That's what you like. Because if she would it would have been
Yeah,
like a 10, 12 song, it would have been like a lot of fillers. But I think these
that would have
are
happened. That would have happened.
yeah.
There would have been a filler track for yeah.
I think all seven. You just let it play. I don't think I didn't skip any of them.
And that's the great thing about a 7 song album. You are causing yourself to be judged a lot harsher because people are like, yo, you gave us 7 songs. These all seven better be like really good. We better not be having to skip a lot. It's just 7 songs. I don't have to do that when it comes to this. I just like
No.
let it play out. So
I think yeah, that's the beauty about her improvement. Like the
yeah,
last album was like 15, 16
yeah,
songs
it
or
was an
whatever.
album. Yeah.
The album, and this is 7 songs, and I think this was better than that album. That's just me. I don't know how
Oh,
you
you
feel
got
about
you
that.
got this one better than the last one.
Yeah, I mean, DJ Got Me, bro, is better than like 4 of those songs in the last album,
Instantly, boom, boom, boom.
bro. When it first come on, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
this
it's
is where
groovy. It's
her
groovy.
pocket. That's her pocket, bro. Like she can get into that, and her voice is just flows. I think
Mhm.
the last one was more of I don't know. It was I enjoyed this better than the last one. I think I only like saved like 2 songs from the last album.
Whoa, hold on, hold
It's
on.
weird,
I
bro.
gotta,
It's
I gotta look.
weird, bro.
So the When I Hear Your Name.
Yes. Through the night is when I said, oh no, yeah.
Nah.
12, 13,
This
6.
album's too good. This album's too good, man. There's only one song I didn't, and it's the one with Lucky Day Clarity I didn't like, but outside of that, bro,
Yeah, bro, it was like 2 songs that were like from me,
outside
like the
of that,
listenability, like for me to go back and listen to it.
that was like my R&B album of the year last year, bro. That joint
Really,
was yeah. That joint was nice.
that
She,
makes
she's
me.
she's on a back-to-back run for me. Honestly, I think she's on it. She's
So she just surpassed to you Billie Eilish because you said she was album of the year. Well, listen, I'm gonna remind you every time we do this music. Every time you put somebody, so it's better than Billie Eilish because it's literally the similar songs. Not similar songs, but similar number of songs.
well, Billy had 10.
But
So
I
she yeah,
mean,
she
I mean, a couple of those was
Billy had 10.
fillers.
Billy had 10.
So
I
whose
don't
album
think
was
it's
better?
last. I still got Billy's. I still got Billy's. Yeah. Give me
Okay,
hard and
that's
soft.
why I keep reminding you every time. It's
Yeah,
like I had her
it's
back to
gotta
back
it's
album
gotta
of the
take an
year.
undeniable. I mean, like an undeniable. I want to mention this though. Somebody commented on the last episode about what you said about Why Lord. They said Why Lord is boring. That is the album of the year. So, hey man, they they,
You
they
see what
they're
they didn't explain why they was was the album of the year. Why Lord is boring? It's the album of the year.
wait, hold up. Let me give them their due credit. Let me give them their due credit to what they said about this because they were pretty
Please
adamant.
explain.
They were pretty adamant that
Please explain. Why is this
okay.
album of the year? Why is Billie Eilish album
Shout out
is
to Marvin Zulu says why okay he said why Lord is boring with like 5 question marks and then he said album of the year is No Worries period why Lord that's all he said. Okay, he didn't give us any reason. He just said his album of the
Why
year.
Lord is Billie Eilish album, right?
No, why Lord is the
Oh,
No
I'm
Worries
tripping. I'm
Anderson Paak.
tripping. In Anderson. Oh, I'm tripping. Yes, it was. Did I say it's boring?
Yeah, he said it was boring.
Yeah, I
You
did.
went
I
you went
did.
in on that.
I did. It was a couple songs. I mean, and I did say that's why I feel like they have lost the connection from the first album to this album. It's been 8 years. The
I mean that's a long time.
two different people now. Anderson,
I
some of the
mean like
songs were right up Anderson's alley, but some
yeah.
of them was just like the producers, and he just had to fit himself on it. To me,
And, and Jamil did say we talked about it. I mean, he thought it's one of the best albums of the year, and he said that he thinks like it kind of was a heartbreak album, like a breakup, because like we don't know what's going on. Like Anderson Paak, it's been questions about like what's going on in his personal life, and this may have been the album where he was kind of like getting stuff off his chest, which I kind of felt as though like
that's
that's
cool.
what the album was. Like I'm not saying that's why it's a great album because it's a breakup album, but
It's boring.
okay, all right.
Have you went back and listened to it last week?
I didn't. I went
Don't
back
say nothing else. Don't say nothing else.
because I just sometimes I'm just like, yo, I just want to hear Billy's song. I want to
Don't
hear
say
Billy.
nah. Don't do that. Don't do that. If
I've
you
revisited
if
Billy.
it was such a good album, you have not revisited since we talked about it. Mad crazy, bro. It's not a
No,
good
I
album
was saying
then.
I haven't revisited it last week, the week before I revisited it, but I haven't revisited it
We talked about it last week, didn't we? Or the week before?
the week before last week.
So you didn't revisit it last week
Not
because
last
this.
week, but
So you listened to it the week it came out.
yeah,
The
the week
week.
it came out, and a few
So you
days
did.
after the leftover stage.
Mm-hmm. It's not a good album then to you
Oh man, there's a
because it
lot of
was.
music so much music comes out, man. I'm still like listening to like Common and Pete Rock. I'm replaying their 3 songs like back to back to back, like just on loop.
That's why I'm saying that because if you really like the album, it doesn't matter what music's going out, it's still going to be in
You
your
still you still
play.
want to revisit it, yeah.
Like when what came out? What's the album? Oh, Don Toliver's album, bro.
Return Psycho. I have not revisited
I've been listening to that so much.
that.
Album of the year, bro. Album of the year.
Completely unrelated. But
Completely
Lakers are
unrelated.
hiring Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks as assistant coaches.
Nate McMillan. Why does that sound familiar?
Used to be the Portland coach.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
So I mean, maybe they'll coach summer league. maybe they'll, maybe somebody.
maybe,
Let's do
maybe.
it. I'll do it.
I want to. They need the experience. I want them to get comfortable coaching.
I mean, they've already
No,
coached like year.
yeah, you need a coach, buddy. Okay,
All right, but getting to Lucky Day's algorithm, this was released. Yeah, this was a really good album. Really good album. Released last Friday, and I first listened to it last night. Listened to it again this morning. Man, it's such a smooth album. He's getting back into his pocket overall. It's not too
yes,
much. It's not too much, honestly.
right.
It's just the right amount of tracks.
Mhm.
And I mean, about like 10 out of 14 I'm revisiting a bunch. Honestly, like it's got a high number of songs I want to go to. Um, so I mean, Hurricane, Never Leaving You. The intro, like an incredible intro, bro. An
Mm-hmm.
incredible way to start off this project.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the transitions in it. I think this was it was sequenced so well. It was
Yes.
sequenced really well. And I think overall, like this is a type of album that it's got staying power, and I don't think it's one you're gonna drift. I
Mm-mm.
really don't think it's one you're gonna drift on. But what did you kind of initially think about it?
As soon as it comes on, I'm like, that's the lucky day
That you
I
know.
became a fan of. Yeah, and I know. I was like, yes, bro. And then I went to the next song. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you better not be like, bro, you better keep this. And then he gave us a couple R&B songs,
Hmm.
I think that were mainstream, but he kept the indie vibe, the hunger that he once had, and the pureness he once had in the music. And you could tell he's having fun. You can hear
Yes.
in the lyrics and how he's delivering that he's having fun with this, that he feels good about this. It just oozes confidence out of this album. And I enjoyed it so much. Like, I was like, bro, this is the lucky day I used to listen to in my dorm room. Like, bro, this, this is the real deal New Orleans guy that I've read about, who got his start in church. Obviously, everybody goes to church and they just drift off and just do secular music. It's mad
You know,
crazy.
you know how those interviews happen. So yeah, start off in church.
Yeah, I started
Just
in
my,
church
my roots. Like
in the choir. But nah, it was dope, bro.
mass
Like,
choir.
yeah, the mass choir. Like, I wanted money. Um, But nah, it was dope, bro. I want him to stay in his pocket. Like, you can mix up the two. You can give us some of those like mainstream R&B, but make sure your identity is still in it. I feel like he wrote most of these songs
Oh, for
in the
sure.
li-
And
in
it's
the
strong.
yeah. I think with Candy, I think they were so many writers or so many songs that they probably referenced to get like, it was just, you can tell it wasn't him. Like, he can sing them, he can get in that pocket, but it wasn't him. Like, he writes most of his songs. So yeah, this one you can tell he was back to business. He listened to Full Scope podcast and like, those guys are right. Savon is right. Because you like Candy.
Yeah, I was about to say he listened to you. He didn't listen to me because I was like, I'm a fan of Candy Drip. I still revisit Candy. Talk about an album I'm going to revisit. I'm revisiting Candy Drip. Yeah, as soon as that album came out, I'll never forget it. I was getting out of work, walking back on the campus, put that AirPod in. I was like, oh yeah, this vibes, spring break vibes, man. I
Put
was
the
like, yes, this is.
AirPods in.
I did that so much when I would leave work.
It's
When
like,
I would just be like, I've been in a loud warehouse for like 8 hours. I'm ready to listen to something else.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it.
But yeah, I definitely like when you have an artist revisiting kind of like what his strength is. I know we've kind of joked about it, but like, what do you like? Do you think his team, even after an album where it kind of was commercially successful, do you think they're kind of like, hey, like, do you want to get back to the lane? Because we know you're going to be popular. People are always going to
Mhm.
listen to you. But is it an internal thing from the artist, or do you think it's kind of like one of those like strategic team meeting moves where it's like, hey, do you want to go back to like what you like were once known for?
I think it's internal because you still have to make a decision of if you want to do this or not. Obviously, you
Yeah.
contracted, but you still have say of what type of music you want to do, and then obviously you got to get approved. All it's a lot of moving parts, but I think it's internal, and I think he I'm not, we joked about him listening to Full Scope, but I think he at some point when he was doing his live renditions, he was like, man, this feels like where I was back when, wrote Rose Some More, all these other tracks that he has, like some really bangers. And like, I
Mhm.
want to get back to that. Like, at some point you like, man, I just want to get back to that. I feel like Summer Walker was the same way when she did that commercial one and she heard everybody like, okay, let me get back to writing and feeling and doing these things, and then it worked.
Mhm.
I think this album is going to be received really well. Lucky Day is solidified in R&B world. Like,
Already.
don't it's he's solidified. So I feel like he can go back and go back into that pocket and it'd be fine. He doesn't always have to do commercial music. But I do think it's internalized. You got to feel like, man, I don't feel like I don't want to I don't care about radio spins. I just want to make music that makes me feel good. in my original fans like
Mhm.
Savon from Full Scope to feel good.
It's so funny. Sometimes I just, I think artists, they're always like, not saying that happened to us, but I think artists are always just curious to see like what people are thinking. Artists every now and then look at a podcast or they look at a YouTube channel, but like, what is Lucky Day doing? They'll be like, I'm just interested to see what people are saying, because artists, like, they can say we block out everything, but they're
Yeah,
looking at things. They're looking at things every now and then, honestly.
absolutely.
So,
And they got people in their ears telling them like, "Hey, blah blah blah." Especially when like
hey,
somebody
Joe
gets
Budden didn't like your out.
right, or somebody gets sneak this. Hey, bro, somebody says something like this in a song, bro. He's like, "Who?" And it like, yeah, you got people around you telling you and whispering in your ear and stuff like that. So
Yeah. And now getting into our next review with Marsha Ambrosias Casablanca. This is an 11-track project. And it's interesting because it does have the fusion of jazz and hip hop. She has, this is her fourth studio album following 2018's NYLA. And it's got a lot of different mixes. It's one that I think I need to give more time to like really
yeah,
appreciate. I listened to it this morning and I was not
me
in
too.
the mood for this album. I wasn't. It was one that I think like I needed to give like just, I don't know, maybe it's an evening listen. I don't know. It kind of feels like one of those, to be really honest, and it just wasn't connecting with me from the jump. Jamil, he recommended this album to me, so he really loves it. But I definitely think this is one I got to listen to more. And it's, she is definitely an extremely talented artist. Has
Mhm.
so much nuance to her music and her voice. I definitely think like that's obvious. But how the album actually is constructed, I think it's something I got to listen to more. But what were kind of your thoughts for this album?
Nah, the first two songs really got me, and then it got into like a mode where I was like, okay, like it's cool. Like she's very talented and spiritually, music and poetry music is cool. Like it has a lane, and I'm glad you said it's definitely not something you should listen to in the morning.
Oh no.
It's definitely an evening slash nighttime listen because
Yeah,
it's like jazz. It's like poetry. Like
easy listening. Yeah.
yeah, and you're in the mood. Like you're already liven up, especially like you're out drinking. This is something you go to a live bar and listen to,
Oh, and a
or
live
a
bar,
jazz
yeah, it's
club. Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's, it's
And
gonna go
then
crazy.
Dr. Dre produced it. You could tell he produced it.
Mhm.
Like it was these beats and production was crazy for
I was
sure.
gonna say the certain beats and production she was adding in. I
Hmm.
was like, the what was it? There was a Nas beat on here, a Nas sample on here that she had from Illmatic that was like really crazy, and I was like, oh man,
Hmm.
the production on here is just
Dr.
fire.
Dre did not play.
He didn't play. He didn't play.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, man. So yeah. I honestly, like you said, the setting, and this is why these reviews, like, we always enjoy these reviews because we get to like talk about like, hey, when did you listen to this? Like, what time was it? Like, there's so much that goes into music, to an album listening like session. Like,
Absolutely.
the album listening part of it is so important. Like, did I listen to it in the car? Did I listen to it at home? Did I listen to it on my way to work or back from work? There are just so many like different nuances for it. But getting to our last review with Boldy James, Conductor Williams, Across the Tracks. Um, Conductor, we have a problem. I love Conductor, we have a problem. It's one of my favorite taglines. Whenever I hear somebody say Conductor, we have a problem, I know it's just, I know some heat is on the way.
Mm.
It's, man, Boldy is an interesting artist. He's an interesting artist, man.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
Boldy is an interesting artist, man. I think Boldy is the guy who, he honestly, like, he fits in that Larry June mold. Obviously from like, he's kind of like the Larry June version of the Griselda version of Larry June. Kind of like
Yeah.
has that certain cadence of just like, I'm going to stay in the same pocket. The bars are there for sure with him. But I think this was a good project, but I also feel as though I've heard this type of album like many times before. Rome Streets, I could hear a Rome Streets and Conductor Williams album, and I think it will be like 10 times better than this. Because Rome Streets, I think he's got elevation in his voice. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna like bring up the tempo. He's gonna like da-da-da-da-da, like he's gonna like really like, okay, he's gonna like mix it up. He's gonna give you like a full mixed portion of what he can do. With Boldy, I think like it's so repetitive. It's just so like straightforward, and I'm like, I'm not getting anything different. And I like Boldy, but I just think for a full album, with you got an amazing producer and conductor, I'm like, I think somebody else deserved this album. Um, I think
Somebody else
somebody
is
else I think somebody else could have like used, not to say deserved, but I think somebody else could have like used the production on this, like flowed with it better. Um, and overall, I think it's good, but it's not like replayable or really good. It's just a good album. Um, what did you kind of think about this? I know you're not the biggest fan of Boldy. Boldy is not a guy you're jumping up and down to listen to. What did you kind of think about this?
Exactly the same thing you said, man. It was the bars there, just you know, switch it up, bro. Like, I know it takes. Mm, I don't want to even say that word. It doesn't take it. You choose to do it. You choose to rap in one cadence and one tone of voice, bro. Like, rapping is an art. Like when
It
I hear
is.
people just do that, like it's just like you don't want to evolve. You will never hear one of the greats rap like this. And like some people like this style. Some people love the consistency
A lot of people
of
love this album. A
the
lot of people
cadence,
love this album.
cadence and the whatever. It's cool. Like the bars, I think people don't care about the cadence. It's like some people don't care about the lyrics, they just listen to the beat. Some people don't care about the beat, they just listen to the lyrics.
Mm,
Or some people don't care about how you rapping, they just listen to the lyrics. For me as a hip hop connoisseur and a savant of hip hop, and I'm not trying to make it close to my name.
hey, I was about to say the wordplay there.
Nah, I want to hear some evolution of you as an artist and you appreciating this art,
Oh yeah,
because when you
got
get into different pockets and like that J. Cole when he was on For All the Dogs, bro, like that like bro, that is,
yeah, that's him.
oh my goodness, that's a butterfly coming out of cocoon, bro. That's just beautiful. Just flipping. It's beautiful to be able to change your cadence and change your voice like Kendrick Lamar. Like a lot of people didn't like him because he used to like it's Kendrick. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
some people hated that. Yeah,
it's the evolution. You're finding different ways to be able to, because it's literally the
people
same
called it the alien
things.
voice. People called it the alien voice.
Bro, it was so fire, bro. Bro, I used to love when he do it.
Yeah.
Pow wap, drink. Like, bro, it's like all this stuff is recycled. There's nothing new under the sun. So you have to figure out a new way to present the same thing.
For sure.
So yeah, man. But it was solid. The bars is why I kept listening. And the beats were like crazy, bro. The beats were crazy.
Man, I'm gonna say this. One album we didn't we'll review it later for our next episode. Lil Yachty and James Blake, Bad Cameo. Hey man, 10 songs. We might have some competition. 10 songs. 10 songs.
I'm jumping up for joy.
Man,
When when I
this
see this on
album.
the topic list,
Oh
I'm just
yes.
gonna roll my eyes,
Oh
bro.
yes, it's coming. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it today. I didn't want to do it today. I wanted to save for the next episode. But Lil Yachty and James Blake and Bad Cameo, bro. I listened to Yachty's podcast with James Blake, and they were talking about it and how quick they made it. I think it was like it took about like I mean maybe 4 months or something like that. And then Yachty like Blake produced it all. Yachty was right into it quick. Um, and I'm like, man, I'm not.
Wait,
Why am I reviewing it? Why am I reviewing it? I don't need to review
four
this
months is
episode.
quick.
I'm not gonna. I'm
No.
no. I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they were saying like certain songs like to actually finish it, but certain songs that they were doing like took about like maybe 3 weeks to just like fully put together. Like they got together in LA like quick process. It wasn't like one of those like they thought it was going to take a lot longer to finish because they weren't even expecting it to put it out this year. But I think the timing in which they got it done, they said like it kind of exceeded what they thought, like what their original like game plan for it was. Um,
What
but
a
yeah, bad
time
cameo.
to be
Now,
alive.
no, not that one. Yeah, yeah,
That's fast.
yeah,
And they have so many hits on that.
yes.
4 months ain't fast, bro. 5 days?
Oh yeah, that's different. That's different.
That's quick.
Yeah.
And they're good, borderline great songs.
Mhm.
Bro, that's crazy.
I'm gonna go
But
back and listen to that interview and report to you guys on when they actually did finish it. But bad cameo. We definitely will be reviewing that soon. I can't wait to hear.
Wellington, Billie Eilish, you have competition for the album of the year. Wellington's so excited.
So-
So excited.
oh my goodness. Any other albums you've been listening to? Any other ones coming? I know Denzel Curry, Childish Gambino. He's releasing a new album July 14th.
No. No, I've been recycling, bro.
Just going back to older ones.
Yeah, I've been recycling a lot. I haven't even went into any new music. Only new music I listen to is if you give it to
Just
me. I
on the
just be
podcast. Yeah,
recycling. Yeah,
yeah.
I just be recycling.
But wait, guys, just wait. Just wait for Bad Cameo. Bad Cameo. It's we definitely will be talking about this new collab album. If Savon may hate this more than Division Ty Dolla Sign, I don't know if it'll reach that level. 'Cause, I mean, that's his most hated collab album of all time. But
Absolutely.
what a weird mix. What a weird mix. To this day, that needs to be studied.
I need to
Cheers.
study at
Cheers.
Harvard.
Cheers to the best memories.
It's wild.
Well, that wraps it up for today. I'm your host, Winter Burns. I'm my counterpart, Savon Morris. This has been Full Scope. See you later.